Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here. Welcome back to the Youth Only Challenge here with 1860 Munich. It's episode 35, it's end of season 7, I believe, I'm pretty sure. And the second season here in the Bundesliga. You can tell from my tone of voice and everything, I'm just annoyed and disappointed with FM today. And I've been live for 8 hours total, 5 hours in this stream, and I'm trying everything to find a tactic that works, and then you look at the stats, and I'm going to show you one in particular that just annoys me, and just how do you combat it on FM? You can't. The arrivals, look, I'm here with this screen just so you have something. Like Brito apparently is my best signing. I think it would be Itch, even though he won next gen for a reason, right? He made a mistake in the semi-final last game out, but it is what it is. Dino's been fantastic, and I think Kismar definitely had the potential to be our best signing until he got injured and broke his foot, which wasn't even the game here. So look, the season results, the board will tell me that's a very good finish, 9th. And the fact that we had a very poor year, negative goal difference shows you that, the fact we still finished 9th is probably a good thing. The fact we have an average age of 19 and we're finishing 9th, second season in, is probably good. But this year feels like a season of just ifs and buts and what ifs, and season that never happened, We're on a poor run of form, as you can see there, switch system, and another poor run of form again. But I guess the help of clumping of really bad fixtures does not help, and it hurts morale and all that. But yet again, we finished 7th in the league last season with a lesser, weaker side, and here we finished 9th, and it's more because of, I put my finger on it. It's more because we were better than most sides this year, and we did not win. At every stage of this season, it looked like we're going to go on a run of games we lost. Look at this, Stuttgart, Frankfurt, we should beat Bosch, we concede 2 goals in 2 minutes, we lose. All of a sudden, we're on 51 points, we're a point outside Europe, right? Depending on results, because Montreal Gladbach may win Euro 2 and knock it 7th out like we got knocked out last time, so poor old Cologne, right? But yet again, Freiburg, good game that we could have won. Union Berlin, we could have won. Yeah, we won the last 2 games of the season. I'm going to show you what we changed, but yet again, it's yet again, another semi-final. Yet again, it's just it's another one of those, good year, it feels great, not a problem. But at the back of your throat, in the back of your mind, it's but really, we should have won the DFB Pokal this year. This was the year. And I'm kind of looking at my squad, guys. It's a big squad that needs progression. The only way you're going to get progression is getting into Europe. Yeah, it might be a bit early for us, but I really think the DFB Pokal was the one that we should have won. This should have been our first major piece of silverware, and we blew it. And then we only blew it ourselves. So it's a bit annoying, moments to remember, goal of the year, whatever, who cares? And just click through, because I want this episode to be short, sharp, and shiny. I don't care about any of that. We're going to talk about the tactic, the season preview, right? Or the season preview, by the way, was to finish 14th. We finished 9th. We shouldn't get upset. The average age of the squad's 19. But if you go to stats and you go to team detailed and you click through this little bit here, right? We are average possession, very okay, 50% 9th, right? Now, that's going to change over time because we're playing this more 43 on, became a bit more possession-based as well, right? But we're the worst in the air in the league by a mile, 1,729. I'm going to show this one here because I don't mind, right? Headers 1, yet again, 14th, 64%. Don't know if you can see that over my webcam, right? Not particularly great. Yellow cards don't bother me. Points per games don't bother me, right? If we go to attacking stats right here, goals for Bayern, 102 goals, which is fine. We scored 52. Not bad, right? Because expecting our goal per game ratio, Bayern's was 3, which is ridiculous. It was 1.53, and we're scoring just over that per game, is not bad. Expected goals for, 83.1, for Bayern, 49.5. We scored 52 this season. We outperformed our XG there, technically speaking, which is great. And you're thinking, oh, well and good, right? And you go down to the defending stats, and this is where things become a little bit bleak. Bayern only allowed 18 goals all year. We allowed 54. 54, so we're -2. Expected goals against, though, 45.98. If we actually kept to our expected goal ratio against us, we would have had a goal difference of +8. Yet and again, we're conceding, we're even having teams getting less SG, like 0.8, 0.7, they're scoring 2-3 goals a game against us. And here we are battling away with an XG of 1.9, and we're getting maybe a goal, if we're lucky. Which is not good stats to have. The most annoying one for me here is goals conceded from corners. Where are you? Fouls made, tackles 1, allowed from corners. Werder Bremen allowed 1 goal here from corners. Bayern 2. This is the one where I need to show you. Remove that and remove that. 9 goals conceded from 34 games from corners, the most in the league. How do you stop that? How do you as a manager and football manager, stop something that is broken. And I don't want to sit here and go, oh yeah, that's the reason where we are. If you take away even 7 of them, we only concede 2, right? And they're not clear-cut headed corners. A lot of them are just bang in between bodies, bang goal, because we put enough people in the right areas, I feel, in our tactic. It's the standard usual, 3 guys man mark, being zonal, front and near and back stick, 2 guys on the post, everyone else man mark. And we just concede 9 times. You take away, 7 of those goals, our goal difference is positive, and the amount of times we've conceded from set pieces is ridiculous. Throwing the fact from direct free kicks, right? 6 teams are not allowed a direct free kick all year. We allowed 2. That is 11 goals this year where you've conceded from set pieces. 11 goals. We also allowed 3 from indirect free kicks. So, 11, 14 goals. All year we let in from set pieces. You take away a majority of those goals, we have a positive goal difference. I'll tell you what, we've probably picked up about 8 to 10 more points. And right now, that is the difference between us finishing mid-table and us finishing in a European spot like last year. So, you can see why I'm a bit annoyed. Can you not? Shots on target against, we're only allowing 211 shots on target, which is probably a little bit too high, right? But we're doing well in terms of those shots, not conceding too many. It's more the set pieces that are flying in, So for me, it's a little bit whatever. Possession 14 for a team that tackles well. Why we won the most tackles in the league, but we don't win enough possession. That stat doesn't correlate. If you're winning a lot of tackles, and why? I don't know if you're not winning possession back. So for me, that makes no real sense at all. Bayern, by the way, yet again, being the best in terms of percentage of tackles, they win the most at 81%. So we're doing well in that department, but why on earth are we not winning the ball back? There's a lot of things that I'm looking at and I go, actually, I look at the tactic, it's not bad. We did make 2 changes for the rest of the season about tactics, right? And we did play 2 teams that, towards the end of the season we should beat. Hamburg being 1, we did win the game in the 90th minute. Admin scoring his first goal in the game. But this ball was a throw-in, a cross. I'm just going to show you. Throw-in, cross, header, goal. And for me, you can't stop that. For me, that's another one of those areas where what can you do? We actually defend from open play. It actually looks like we defend really well. And I made a couple more changes that actually seem to make it work a little bit better. Now, it isn't what I'd say is fantastic from us, but we were conceding a lot of over the top, right? We'll press, we try and win the ball, we're not good enough to win it. The opposition gets possession back enough, over the top. So I actually forced us opponents inside, and according to the data hub, because of that, we should lower the line of defence because it forces them to not get touches in the area. It seemed to have worked, but yet again, it's a ball in the box that goes in. I'm not happy with that, so go standard. Unfortunately, when we go standard, there's enough space in between our lines that they actually play through us and they score through the middle. We then played Hoffenheim. We won 1-0, and this highlights the problem this season. 15 shots, only 3 on target. And we go and look at the shot map of last season because we did have a look at it, right? And by the way, we didn't, did we concede a shot on target? I think we conceded 1 or 2. 2. There we are. So we forced them to have a lot of digs from outside the box, a lot of crosses they headed over, right? Which is good and well and good and all on that. And a lot of it for me was like, yeah, that's great, but I had one moment where they broke us all down and they missed the 1-on-1 wide. They should score. So realistically, it probably should have been 1-1. But at least in that game, I can see that maybe play that a lot lower, even though it's not a system I like to play. We're still pressuring with the balls in that area. We're inviting a lot of pressure on. It's air, but I can understand it working. So maybe something that we might look to do this season. But if I look at the data hub and I go to last match, right, and I go to matches last match or, last 5 matches and I only tick the Hamburg result here, or probably even better, let's just go to our shot map. Can we just go to our shot map last game? Shot map last game. Look where our chances are coming from. Only 15 attempts, 1 goal, 3 on target, whatever it was. Look at this. This is from a corner each, heads over the bar. If that's against me, that's in the back of the net, right? I'm not here to complain. This is Jose Maria having an effort that was blocked, that was going off target anyway, right? This is an effort from James Margetts, 1-on-1, he puts off target, which was blocked anyway. These are just off target ones, the X's, apologies. These are the block ones. So shot, clear cut opportunity, back stick, here he goes, tap it in, bang, sliding tackle blocked. Apparently that's a shot block that wasn't on target. And then, the goals come from here, but we've had 2 shots that are off target from there as well. And you want to know what's happening? I've got it, right, set to lower crosses because we're not good enough in the air. And we watched this on stream. And if you want to watch it back on stream, stream was the 3rd of the 1st, so the 3rd of January 2022. Right, go back, it's up for 29 days. We went through and watched it in entirety, every shot. And the amount of times that we got lower crosses into the box and they're putting balls head high into James or into EH, or we're not EH can header, right? But James, Vilvana, and they're going in and they're trying to beat a guy in their hair. They're not big boys. They're not guys that are like, oh my God, Anderson levels that can hit a ball, right? And they're putting balls over the target. It's not their fault. The service isn't good enough. But if I'm putting it along crosses, why are you not whipping it along the floor? Why are you not keeping it really low? See, my issue is that we're creating the right amount of chances, but for whatever reason, in-game, they're picking lower crosses up head high. It should be along the floor. Should be like shin height so they can volley it, right? Should be a big focus on making it very low, very much, that there's not a jumping contest. Firstly. Secondly, one-on-ones, broken this year. The amount of times that we've had it off target or shot blocked in a one-on-one, stupid, right? And then you mention in defensive corners how you're meant to compete. So I don't want to sit here and say this season was a write-off or a bad year, but I will say that when we make the semi-final of the Cup and Dortmund and Bayern aren't in it, you should win the Cup. Didn't do it. I'll also say that we had enough team. We were better than enough teams this season to finish in Europe. Yes, considering we finished 7th last season, we're unlucky not to have any European football because Leipzig won the Euro 2 last year. I'm going to sit here and go, yeah, I really think that we should have won the league. Or not won the league. So I should have finished in Europe and build towards winning the league upon that because we have a system that works. Instead, I'm sitting here going, well, does a system work, does it not? I'm not too sure. And then when you investigate further, well, not really. It's just the game being broken against you. How do you combat that? I'm in a conflicting spot where it's like, unless I have a year where we actually outperform XG massively, then it's not a really good spot. And we sit here and complain we're not scoring enough chances. We are scoring virtually our XG, slightly higher than our XG. But when you're seeing oppositions having 0.5, 0.6, 0.7 XG against you scoring 3 goals, it makes you tear your hair out. And you're having a 1.5, 1.8, 1.9 XG and you score maybe 1. Or you've had 17 shots, 3 on target, a goal, XG of 1.8, and then the opposition like VfL Bochum scores 2 goals in 2 minutes, and then XG of 0.4, and you lose 2-1. Like, how do you combat that? And a lot of that's them hitting a free kick hit from outside the box, goal, or set piece, goal, or throw in, cross in, goal. How do you combat it? That's the question I need to ask. And that's what we're going to work towards next season. If we can find a way to combat it, I'm going to make the very bold prediction with the signs we're coming in. If we find a way to combat crosses into the box and corners, I make a prediction we finish 4th. Like, that's a very bold prediction. And it's not a position I actually want to finish. I want to go into the Europa League. I want to actually go into the Euro 2. But I make a prediction that if we actually have a season where we actually outperform our XG slightly more, and we don't concede as many set pieces, as in like corner goals and free kick goals, that we do 14 of them, if we take away that down to 2, I'm putting you right now that we get enough points that I go from 48 there to 66 and I finish 4th. Because I don't think the difference between me and Manx is not much. Just an observation. Let me know if you think I'm being ludicrous or not in chat or in the YouTube. Anyway, that's going to be the season recap. Like, I would show you the budget, whatever. Apparently, the budget's actually been done. I haven't seen it. Maybe it's in here. The board set the budget. I'll click on it quickly if the board has actually set the budget. The budget's down to 29 million. I don't know. I got 49 million for winning the league. Apparently, my budget is down to 29 million. I would imagine that's my budget for next season. So be it. I'm glad we got people coming in. Oscar comes in 6 months. Alcides comes in before the season starts. Carson Anders comes in, and Danny Lovett comes in. So yeah, I would love it just to be a bit more realistic and a bit more, you know what, let's not get FM'd as much in terms of set pieces going in against you and you not scoring many. The fact that I only scored 4 a year and 3 of them came towards the last 5 games of the season, ridiculous. So yeah, anyway, from Damon and everybody else here, I'm enough whining. I just wanted to highlight that this year was a year of nothingness. The only thing I will say, we've got good player for our youth intake. We've had a decent year. We've got EH to win next gen. Our next gen players are really good. And the one thing I will say that is the shining light, our players are better off for spending another year in the league and developing. But for me, I know this might be very harsh, but to finish 9th after finishing 7th for last season, and to have the year that was, and the year that we performed even better than last year's at Field, to have a -2 goal difference, 48 points, and to finish 9th for me is a bit of a failure. Even though the game rates it as what a year you had because you outperformed yourself, and there you are. I actually think we didn't. I think we actually threw away a lot of points this year. So from David and everybody else here, next year's a year that I think if we just find a way to not concede so much, we finish 4th. But anyway, we'll see what we see. Anyway, from David and everybody else here, I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.